Hello, everyone. My name is Roberta. I'm a teacher here on Verbling.com, and today we are going to be talking about idioms of anxiety and fear. And this is sort of a Halloween theme, I guess, because we are going to be having a holiday, a very famous holiday in the United States, coming up at the end of the month of October. And that's Halloween. So I thought today might be a good day to kind of start thinking about that scary holiday and talk a little bit about idioms of fear and anxiety. So in English, we have a lot of different ways to express that you are afraid or scared of something. So we have many idioms and phrases to talk about sort of different feelings. And again, I said that there's a very famous holiday in America coming up called Halloween. So I'll talk just a little bit about that holiday and how some of the phrases we learn might be used in a Halloween setting or in like a spooky or scary setting. So Halloween, again, is a holiday in America. It has sort of a long history. The holiday that we celebrate today is pretty far removed from what it used to be or how it originated, but it's still very, very popular. And in the United States, people dress up. You might see it in a lot of movies. If there's something in English or something about American holidays, it's very, very popular. People dress up in costumes, and sometimes very scary costumes, and they might try to scare other people. I'll be teaching a class about Halloween at a later date, but for now that's the basic information. So far we have two people joining us. We have Vitaly. Vitaly, welcome.
Hello, Roberta.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How do you do?
I'm pretty good. And where are you? Can you remind me where you are from? I think you were in another one of my classes.
Yes. I have one class.
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, that's right. Thank you. Well, welcome to class.
Thank you.
And we have Caesar.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
And where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay, well, welcome. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
class. So today, as I said before, we are going to be talking about idioms of anxiety and fear. So basically just some different phrases related to if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling some anxiety, if you're terrified, different adjectives like that. And I'll be putting up some of the different adjectives that you can use to describe those feelings very soon. We are also joined by Paulo. Paulo, where are you from?
Hi, I'm from Brazil.
Hey, well, welcome. Is there a reason that you are interested in learning about anxiety and fear idioms in English?
Yes, I like to learn the expressions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's useful to know. And definitely if you are interested in learning more about Halloween, I mentioned Halloween is a very popular holiday in the United States. You will definitely hear a lot of these idioms if you are familiar with that American holiday. Caesar, have you heard of the holiday, Halloween?
Yes, here we are celebrating Halloween too.
Yeah, how do they celebrate Halloween there in Colombia?
When? The 31 October.
What do they do? Do people dress up?
Yes, of course. My child have dressed with something and go to homes and found candies and I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's a fun holiday.
It's fun.
Cool. Yeah, and Vitaly, how do they celebrate any type of Halloween in Kazakhstan?
No, I think Halloween have just you say, no?
Okay. Yeah, sometimes people don't celebrate it in every country. It's a very, yeah, it's a very different holiday, I think, and it's changed a lot throughout the years. Paolo, yeah,
But
Vitaly?
in costume, we have holiday in the January with Santa Claus.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like Christmas. We call it
Christmas,
Christmas.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's happy
Yeah. Yeah, so
holiday.
there are some similarities in holidays. Good. And Paolo, is there a Halloween that you celebrate in your country?
No, that's not common here in Brazil. Only in English schools they put pumpkins
Mm-hmm.
and witch dresses.
Yeah, yeah, you guys know a lot about American Halloween, I think, more than some people, so that's good. So yeah, I guess that's basically, we'll be talking about if you are familiar with that holiday, or if you know a little bit about that holiday, or if you've seen any American movies that have anything to do with Halloween. They use a lot of different idioms, and not just whenever you're talking about Halloween. The reason I'm talking about that is because everything in America is Halloween themed right now. But you would see these different idioms in a lot of different places, not just if you're talking about something like that, but you're talking about the holiday. We have Max Gilberto.
Yes, I am, teacher.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, teacher.
Do you prefer Max?
Max is good, teacher. Max is
Max,
good.
Max is okay?
Yes.
Where are you from, Max?
I'm from Mexico.
Okay, well, welcome. You have a little bit of like a sound coming in from your microphone whenever you talk. There might be, if there is a setting maybe, I'm not sure if you have something going on in the background, but if not, it's okay, I can understand you. But I wanted to let you know there's a little bit of a sound from your microphone.
That's good. That's good. Do you hear it? Do you hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah, it's fine. So Max, just to bring you up to speed, which is another idiom, it just means just to, I guess, catch you up with what we were talking about. We're talking about anxiety and fear idioms, and I said that you would hear these idioms a lot when we're talking about Halloween, which is a famous holiday in the United States, but you would also hear these idioms every day, really. They're very, very common if you're talking about something that makes you nervous or stressed. So these are very common idioms. The next thing I want to do, or really the first thing that I want to do, is I want to talk about some different adjectives related to anxiety and fear. And I'm going to put these also in the chat box so you guys can see. And basically, these are different adjectives related to anxiety and fear. So these are words that you'll see a lot used in the different idioms that we're going to be talking about today. These adjectives are on a scale of highest fear level to lowest fear level. So the highest fear level means, what do you think that means? Caesar, do you think high fear level? What do you think that means?
Maybe when the people are is very exciting.
So I guess you could say excited. You could say that your feeling level are very high. So you're not calm if your fear level is very high.
Okay.
You're not calm at all. You're very nervous. You might have a lot of energy. And if we're talking about fear, that means you're very, very, very afraid.
Okay.
So if you look at, can everyone see the chat box in the chat log on Verbling? Can you guys see there's like a little like place that you can type things in? It's usually on the right side. Okay, sometimes people have trouble getting to it. So these adjectives, if you cannot see it, let me know, and I can maybe try to find another way or pull it up on my screen.
Teacher, what do you mean idioms?
So, idioms. Okay, so I guess we can talk about the basic definition of idioms. I was going to talk about that in a little bit, but that's okay. So an idiom, can anyone tell me or explain or help me to explain what an idiom is? Does anyone know before I give a short definition? If you don't know, that's okay.
Maybe is the kind to speak something with using a short word that explain a complete context about something.
Yeah, it's I think that you understand what that means. Idiom, and I put that into the chat log as well. It's a phrase with a specific meaning in English. So all of the words have a specific meaning in the language, not just one word from the phrase. So an idiom could be like, at the beginning of class I said, catch you.
Like synonymous.
Was that to us, Max? Was that, or was that to someone else?
The idiom is like synonymous.
Well, it's not like a synonym.
Another word means the same.
Nope. I think you're getting it mixed up with synonym. So I put a definition of idioms. It's a specific phrase. So it's not just one word. It's like many different. It's a couple of different words. It's a phrase that has a very specific meaning. And I put some examples. I put an example. For example, catch you up. So catch you up to speed is an example of an idiom. I also taught a class about color idioms. So another example of an idiom is feeling blue. If you are feeling blue, it's another way of saying that you're feeling sad. So they're
Roberta,
different. Yeah.
maybe idioms definitions. It's sensitive verbs, huh? Like sensitive verbs.
Sensitive verbs.
Yeah.
So
No?
I guess you could, I don't know if I would describe it as sensitive verbs, but I would definitely say that it's sensitive in the idea that you can't change an idiom around. It is always that kind of phrase, and it always has like the same meaning. So we would say something like feeling blue means feeling sad. That's an idiom. It doesn't literally mean that you are blue, that you look like this pen, right? It has a very specific meaning in English, and it's hard to explain without giving examples. So I'm going to give you a lot of examples of idioms today. English has a lot of different idioms.
I understand. I understand already, I guess. Because idiom is when I use, for example, two words together, it means just one word.
Okay, so an idiom, so to work together I don't think that would be an idiom. That's just a phrase that is like different words put together. An idiom would mean if I took one of those words out, it would not have the same meaning anymore. And we're going to look at some examples, and I think that will help you to understand it a little bit more, because it is a very tricky concept or idea in English, because we have so many idioms that you probably have heard so many and you just don't even realize it, because we say them all of the time. So I want to look a little bit at the adjectives of fear that I posted in the chat log, and we're going to look at examples of idioms, because I gave you guys the definition, but we'll be looking at examples in a little bit, and that will definitely clear some things up for you. Okay? So let's look at the adjectives. We have, the first one is terrified. So if you use that adjective, you are saying that you are very, very afraid. Terrified means that you can almost not be any more afraid. You're very, very, very afraid on the fear scale. Okay? Then we have frightened. which is also very, very afraid. Then we have scared, and then we have afraid.
For
And
example, I like that girl, but I had terrible talk with her. Oh, terrible, terrible talk with her. With
oh, okay.
I like that girl.
Yeah, so if you could definitely use it as an example like that. We would say that that's sort of an exaggeration because you wouldn't be like afraid for your life, but you could say, I'm terrified to go talk to her. So yeah, you can use it in that context. Good, Max. And then we have scared and afraid. Those are sort of, you're still very, I would say those are middle on the scale of being very, very afraid and just uneasy, which we'll talk about in a little bit. After afraid, we have nervous, which just means you're sort of unsettled. You might be nervous on a plane if you are not too afraid. Some people are very terrified to be on a plane, but some people might just be, ooh, I'm sort of tired, I just want to be there, I'm a little bit nervous. So it doesn't mean that you are terrified. It's a little bit different. And anxious, you could say that you are anxious before a test or something like that. And then we have uneasy. Uneasy just means if you are home alone and there is a storm, maybe, and you just have a feeling of being a little bit nervous, then you could say that you are feeling uneasy. Does anyone have any questions about those adjectives? So
No, the chair is okay.
Okay. So before we look at some different idioms, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions, and I want you to try to answer using those adjectives that I just posted.
Okay.
So I'm going to copy and paste some questions into the chat log for you. Number 1, do you like scary movies? Use one of the adjectives to describe your feeling towards scary movies. So I will start. I'll give an example. Scary movies make me very anxious, but I like scary movies. I actually like to be a little bit afraid whenever I'm watching movies. So, Paolo, do you like scary movies?
Well, today I'm not a fan of scary movies, but I confess that, for example, at night I want to watch a paranormal activity.
Yeah, I know that Paranormal Activity. Yeah?
Because
Yeah?
because I will get very terrified.
Good. I was just going to ask you to use an adjective. Yeah, if you watch it at night, I think you would feel sort of terrified. Yeah, those movies are scary. Good job, Paolo. Max,
Hey, tell me.
do you like scary movies?
I just watched the scary movie, the comedy.
Okay. Oh, like Scary Movie, the comedy? So not really scary.
I agree.
Yeah?
Funny.
Caesar, you
That
feel the
movie
same way?
funny, but the whole movie, I don't have the pleasure to see that movie.
Can you repeat that last part?
I don't see the scary movie.
Oh, okay. So you haven't seen scary movies.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
So you don't know how it would make you feel. If it would make you feel terrified or uneasy or okay. Caesar, do you like scary movies?
Yes, I like the scary movies. I prefer watch kind scary movies. Call it thriller. It's a it's a kind of movie that I can feel rarely terrified. Another kind of movies not feel so good, not feel the same. For example, these movies only there are blood and the lies zombies, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
This kind of movies don't I don't feel nothing terrified, frightened, n- nervous, nothing.
Okay, so you can
But
say they don't scare me.
no, but some movies. How do you say? I feel something, in special when I watch it alone.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
in this moment, I feel something.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think if you're by yourself and it's dark and you watch a scary movie,
Yes,
then it's different,
it's
right?
different. Yes, it's
Yeah.
different.
Good. Good answer. And Vitaly, how do you feel about scary movies?
Um, I feel very well.
What was that?
Really, in the past time, mm, making are making making stupid movies, terrible
Oh,
movies.
okay. So yeah.
And the past was very 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 well.
Okay.
But now,
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe when you was a child, you are you talking? No, you are talking about the demons and ghosts, and you feel scared at night, dreaming alone in your bed. You watch through the window and watch the trees, and is a monsters, a ghost, etc.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
definitely I agree.
yeah, yeah. Vitaly, you agree? Um, I think so too. Whenever you're little, whenever you're a child, those things are very scary. But when you watch them now, sometimes they won't be as scary. So yeah, it's totally different as you grow up.
If you want to see the movie Monster Inc. and you change your mind.
Oh, Monsters Inc. Yeah, yeah. That's a funny movie. I like that movie too. Good, good. Any questions before I ask you my next question?
Okay.
Okay. So we just talked about, do you like scary movies? Sometimes you might be terrified, which means you might be very, very afraid. But what is a situation that might make you feel uneasy? So uneasy is not the same as being terrified. And I'm asking you these questions so we can talk about the difference. Because in the idioms we're going to talk about, there's a very big difference between the two different types of fear. So my next question, what is a situation where you might be uneasy? For example, a dark park at night. So a place that maybe children would play during the day is kind of scary if you would go there when it's dark, right? So I would say that I would feel sort of uneasy. I wouldn't feel terrified, but I would say, ooh, I need to get out of here. I don't want to be here, right? So I'll ask Caesar, what's a situation where you might feel just uneasy? Not terrified, but ooh, like that.
I have a experience with this. Sometimes I prefer watching the scary movies with my family, with my wife and my children.
Hmm.
I don't feel nothing. But when I watch these movies alone in my home, I can sleep at night.
Okay.
Because I remember the sense, the bad sense of the movie, and I feel that the ghost and the monsters is back to me.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people feel like that. So it makes you feel uneasy.
Yes, very. I feel uneasy in this moment
Good.
when I'm alone.
Yeah, I agree. I do the same thing. Max, what is a situation where you might feel uneasy?
Well, I want say the experience. when I visit my brother, he died. Uh, he had five years ago.
Oh, I'm
He,
so sorry.
when I visit to the cemetery,
Mm.
I feel something bad. But eh, when I stay there in the cemetery, mom says, if you want, you go to home. I stay here. I finish to do something.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's late. It's night. No man. Really, I don't stay there because I feel something bad. But
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people would say a cemetery would make them uneasy. Yeah. Or just nervous, or a situation where you might not want to stay for too long and be by yourself.
he
Is
was
that
my he was my brother. But really, I feel I feeling something bad. I don't know. I think
sure?
that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a different situation, I think. Definitely, if you've gone to, if a lot of times if you're by yourself, it might be something where you would feel a little bit uneasy, despite the situation. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Max. I think that's a good situation to describe a sort of uneasiness. So good. Paolo, what is a situation that you might feel uneasy?
Well, I think it was last year. I watched a documentary, no, a record of Slenderman, and
Oh, yeah, yeah. Slender Man.
yes, and I made this favor to myself to watch at night before sleep,
Ugh,
and
terrible idea.
yes, and
Yeah.
slept very bad that night. I was open my eyes every single time, every
Yeah,
single.
yeah. Yeah, so that would I would say maybe that would be even higher up on the level of fear. If you're sort of like waking up all of the time, I would say maybe you're, let's see, maybe like scared or afraid. Because uneasy you would just say, "Ooh, I don't like it here," right? But afraid and scared you would be waking up a lot like that. So yeah, and Slender Man scares me too. I don't like Slender Man. Good. Vitaly, what is a situation where you might feel a little bit uneasy?
Maybe when a child, for example, play alone in park, and suddenly comes some young people, and they drunk and shot,
Oh, wait, can you say that the last part one more time?
and they drunks and shot,
Oh, okay.
drinking.
If they had been drinking alcohol,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I would feel a little bit uneasy too, I would say. I need to get out of here, right? Yeah. That's true. That would be an instance where you might feel anxious or anxiety, right? Good. Any other questions before we look at the different idioms of fear and anxiety? I have a reading, and we're going to go through and read some different idioms of fear and anxiety. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to pull that up on the screen share.
No, teacher, is okay.
Okay. So let me pull that up. And here we go. So let me make this bigger because it's always very, very small. I don't know why. Is that a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay, good. If it's too small, let me know.
It's
So,
okay.
okay. So we have idioms of fear and anxiety. Number one. Vitaly, can you read what it says for number one? And then the definition is next to it.
First, afraid of one's own shadow. A person who is afraid of her own shadow is very nervous or easily frightened.
So if you are afraid of your own shadow, you might naturally just be a person who is very afraid, and we would say jumpy. Like you might jump if there is like a loud sound or something. Okay. The next one, number 2. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Make your blood run cold. Paolo, can you read that one?
Yeah. Make your blood run cold. If something makes your blood run cold, it shocks or scares you a lot.
Okay, so if something makes your blood run cold, you are very, very scared. Okay, so you could say the sight of Slender Man makes your blood run cold. That could be an example. If for those of you who don't know Slender Man is from a computer game, and it's usually just a really creepy guy who is in the woods. He's really scary. And a lot of people are afraid of him. So that's Slender Man. What was that?
It is slang, makes your blood run cold.
Well, this would be considered an idiom. It makes your blood run cold. So these are examples of idioms. As you can see, you can't just take parts of the phrase or parts of the idiom and move it around or change it. The whole phrase has a very specific meaning, which is the definition of an idiom. Okay? So the next one, let's hear from Caesar.
Okay. Break out in a cold sweat. If you break out in a cold sweat, you begin to perspire a lot, usually from anxiety.
So, break out in a cold sweat.
Sweat.
So if you, sometimes you might sweat if you get sick. You might have a cold sweat. It's whenever you run or exercise a lot, you know how sometimes your skin gets sticky and you start to have like water coming out of your body? That's sweat. But if you are just sitting and you are just afraid, you could say that you are breaking out in a cold sweat. So it means that it's like you're running, it's like you went for a run, you're sweating a lot, but you are just nervous. That's why you are sweating so much. So for this one, you could say that something makes you break out in a cold sweat. It's something that makes you very, very nervous. Okay? Any questions about that one?
No, it's okay, teacher.
Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Bundle of nerves. Max, can you read this one?
Bundle of nerves. You describe.
Can you read the part in blue?
Yeah. If you describe someone has bundle of nerves, you mean that they are very nervous, tense, or worried.
Okay, so if you describe someone as a bundle of nerves, they are very, very nervous, tense, or worried. So you could say that if you have something stressful coming up in your life, maybe if you have a job interview and you're very nervous about that, you could say that you are just a bundle of nerves. Okay? If you maybe have a surgery, or if someone is sick in your family, you could say, I am a bundle of nerves worrying about this person. Okay? Any questions about that one?
It's okay, teacher.
Okay, thanks, Caesar. The next one, this is a very strange idiom. This is a very good example of an idiom because it definitely has a different meaning and it sounds very, very weird. And that's sort of one of the things that a lot of idioms have. Vitaly, can you read this next one, number 5?
Butterflies in stomach. If you have butterflies in your stomach, you are feeling very nervous.
Has anyone ever heard this idiom before?
Yes.
Caesar, yeah. Where have you heard
Yes.
it before?
When the people feel in love.
Okay, that's another one. Yes, that's another example. Or another.
Fighting.
Or before fighting. Maybe you can say you have butterflies in your stomach before fighting. So yeah, it's weird that you can say that before fighting and whenever you're talking about falling in love. Those are two very different things, right? And you can talk about it or use that idiom if you're very scared about something. So you can use this idiom anytime you have, or anytime your feelings are very, very high. Anytime you have like high energy feelings, you can use this idiom. So yeah, good. You guys have heard that idiom before. Butterflies in stomach. It doesn't mean that you literally have butterflies in your stomach. It just means describes a feeling of nervousness. Okay?
Teacher,
Sure?
can I say have jitters?
Yes. Yes. We actually have one of, I think that's one of the, yep, I have it further on down. Yeah. Having the jitters is very similar to saying that you have butterflies in your stomach. Those are two very, very similar ones. Good. Good job, Paolo. Number 6. The next one, let's hear from Max.
Okay, teacher.
Yeah?
Number 6.
Yeah, number 6.
On the edge of 1/6, it means somebody who is on the edge and their seat is very interesting in something and fit in both. It's extremely exciting and nervous wracking.
So, someone who is on the edge of their seat is very interested in something. So you have all of your focus on something. You are very excited and very nervous. Okay?
It's like anxiety.
It might be, yeah, actually you might feel some anxiety. Can you think of a situation where you might be on the edge of your seat? This is difficult, but I think for you soccer fans out there, I think that you have felt on the edge of your seat before.
Maybe.
Yeah? Who here likes soccer? Nobody?
Me.
I like soccer too.
Yeah.
Maybe from Brazil.
Okay, yeah, we have Paulo. He's from Brazil. Do you like soccer, Paulo?
Yes, a lot.
That's what I thought. So have you ever felt like you were on the edge of your seat?
I like soccer too. Soccer is
Yeah, I know, Max. In Mexico, soccer is definitely very popular, right?
yeah.
So who here has felt on the edge of their seat in a soccer game or while watching a soccer game? Have you ever watched a soccer game and said, "Oh my gosh, my team is so close to winning, but we have 5 more minutes left, and the opposite team could score," and you are very, very focused on the TV, and if someone comes in and tries to turn the TV off, you are going to freak out on them, right?
Pablo, for example, for the next Friday when the selections Colombia and Brazil have a match.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if there are a lot of things happening with your two teams,
Yes.
you might be on the edge of your seat, right? You are very focused on what's happening.
Yeah.
I know that football is very popular. We call it football, but it's American football. It's different than soccer.
Feels the same.
Well, I think it's pretty different. I like soccer a lot too, but
Yes.
football in the United States is one thing that a lot of people will be on the edge of their seats for. So people get very, very excited.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions?
More than the baseball?
I think right now football is more popular, I think.
Okay.
But for the World Cup, I think that soccer was very, very popular in the United States. People really liked it. So
Alright.
yeah. Any other comments or questions? Whoa! I think someone's has a lot going on in the background. I'm not sure who it is, but
Teacher,
yeah.
could we see a picture this expression? Maybe
Of on the edge
Yeah.
of one seat.
into Google. Yes.
Like an image.
Yes, 6 on the edge.
Let's see.
I understand.
Okay. You want like an example on the edge
Yes.
of your seat?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I put the same words in Google, but it present different means.
Okay. I can definitely find a picture. Let's see. Here's the first one that came up. All right. I'm going to stop and I'll screen share this next one or this picture with you guys.
Thank you.
And I just found it really, really quickly. So this is the picture. Do you see these people? How some of them are this person? Do you see the girl in the middle? She's very excited. She's like really, really focused. The other guy, I would say these people are maybe a little bit more, I would say like excited. If you are like very serious, I would say that's closer to being on the edge of your seat. Like if you are, if the room is very quiet and everyone is like all staring at the TV, have you ever seen that situation? Like if you, does that kind of make a little bit more sense, guys? Like if you, let me see if I can make the face. So if you walk in and everyone is like this, staring at the TV, that is on the edge of your seat.
I guess it is when somebody wait something it happen in the future.
Exactly. They are waiting for something to happen. That's a really good way to describe it, Max. If you're like waiting for something to happen, you're standing there and you're like staring, that's usually on the edge of your seat.
They are in suspense, more or less.
Yeah, exactly. Good. That's a good way to describe it. Okay, let's look back at the idioms of fear. This next one, number 7, and let's hear from Vitaly.
7. Get fingers bound. If someone gets their fingers bound, they suffer as a result of an unsuccessful action and are nervous about try again. He got his fingers bound so badly in the last elections that he decided to withdraw from politics.
So you could say that this one is if something very bad happened or if you were unsuccessful in something, you could say that you got your fingers burnt. It's as simple as that. Okay. Let's look at this next one. A heart in one's mouth. Okay, let's hear from Caesar. Can you read about a heart in one's mouth?
Okay, a person who has their heart in their mouth feels extremely anxious or nervous faced with a dangerous or unpleasant situation.
Okay, so a person who has their heart in their mouth is anxious and nervous, and you might have a dangerous or unpleasant situation coming up. So, for example, if maybe you have a test coming up, or if you have, I'm trying to think of something dangerous, maybe if you are getting ready to fly somewhere or go somewhere for work that is sort of dangerous, you could say that you have your heart in your mouth if you are very nervous about it. Has anyone ever heard that idiom before? That's sort of a different one. Yeah? Let's look at
maybe when I was waiting for my first child.
Okay, yes, that's a good example. Yeah, and you're saying that because right beforehand, right, it's kind of dangerous, right, and you might be nervous. Good.
I feel anything. I feel something. I think about everything, and I don't know about how what is happening in this room.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good example. A lot of people, I'm sure, feel that. It's very extremely anxious and very, very nervous if you have your heart in your mouth. So yeah, you could
Mhm.
say that you had your heart in your mouth for the before the birth of your first child. That's a good example. Good.
Okay.
This next one, heart misses a beat. So let's, Paolo, can you read number 9?
Heart misses a beat. If your heart misses or skips a beat, you have sudden feeling or fear or excitement.
So sudden, what does sudden mean? Does anyone know?
Suddenly.
Yeah, suddenly. Um, it's a surprise, right? It means you didn't expect it to happen. It's very unexpected. So has anyone ever heard this one before? Number 9?
Maybe when I flying by plane, it's normal. This flying is normal by plane, but when the plane go down, fall
Mm,
down in a moment
ah,
for the weather made for the climate or the
yeah,
low precipitations, the
yes,
plane fall down sudden,
yes, yep, suddenly.
and come up again. And in this moment, is her misses a bit.
Yeah, we call that the word for whenever the plane does that. Does anyone know that word?
Excuse me, please.
Does anyone know the word for that when the plane um, goes like down and then up?
Yes.
What do you know what it is?
Do you know what, teacher? Sorry.
So I'll type it in. The word for when the plane goes down and then up is turbulence.
Okay, exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah, so if you experience turbulence, and I do the
Yeah.
same thing, Caesar, um, if I experience turbulence in the plane, my heart definitely skips a beat, right?
Mhm.
It's in a short time, but it's definitely
Yeah, yeah,
scared.
yeah. It's a surprise, right?
Yes.
There is another situation that you can use this if even if you are not afraid. Have you guys heard of another situation that you can use this idiom? It's similar to another one that we talked about that has many different meanings. So we said that for another idiom, we said that you can use it if you are falling in love, and you can say this one for that situation as well. You can say, oh, when I saw her, my heart missed a beat, or my heart skipped a beat. You can say something like that. But you can also use it for fear. So a lot of these idioms, or some of these idioms, can be used for different situations. Okay? Good. Let's look at this next one. This is my favorite one. Um, Vitaly, can you read this one?
And NIBI-JIBI's a
Yes.
state of apprehensions, fear, or anxiety is called the NIBI-DIBIs. What
The
is
he
NIBI-DIBIs?
it's very weird. The heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies. It sounds very weird, but this is my favorite one to describe being afraid of something. Um, if you just walk into a house and it's very dark and scary and gloomy, you can say, "Ooh, this house gives me the heebie-jeebies."
NIBI-JIBIs.
It's really weird, but actually a lot of Americans use that. You can say, "Ooh, it just gives me the heebie-jeebies." I don't know. Good.
Scary
Um,
movies.
it's a pretty funny one. Let's look at this next one. Max, can you read this next one?
Uh, hold your breath.
Yes.
It, it means someone is holding their breath. They are waiting anxiously or excitedly for something to happen or being anxious.
Or to be announced. So this is actually, this could be another one, Caesar, for the example that you used earlier. When you said that you had your heart in your mouth, you can say, I was holding my breath, waiting for my first child to be born. You're waiting anxiously and excitedly for something to happen or to be announced, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so you can use this if something, it could be good, it could be bad, it could be you don't know. You're just holding your breath, waiting for something.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, and then number 12, Paolo, I'm going to have you read this one because I know this is the one that you mentioned before.
Yeah, get and have the jitters. If you get or have the jitters, especially before an important event, you become very nervous or anxious and begin to shake. Some people get the jitters when they have to make a speech.
A speech. So if you have
Speech.
to give like a presentation or a speech, some people might say, oh, I have the jitters. Have you ever been nervous and maybe your hand shakes a little tiny bit? You can say that you have the jitters if that happens to you. Yeah? Has that ever happened to you, Paolo?
Yes, every time that I present a work to the public, I
Mm-hmm.
get a jitters.
Yeah, sure. You get the jitters before you have to speak in public. Vitaly, have you ever had the jitters? Vitaly, can you hear me?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was in the past.
Okay, yeah. So I'm sure that everyone has had the jitters at least some point. But that's good if you haven't experienced them in a long time. It's not fun to have the jitters, so that's good. This next one, Caesar, can you read number 13?
Okay, jump out, jump out, jump out of your skin. If you jump out of your skin, you are extremely surprised or shocked.
So, jump out of your skin. If you jump out of your skin, you're surprised or shocked. So, I always use the example of I have these bugs sometimes whenever it gets hot in the apartment in the summertime. They are called centipedes, and they have a lot of legs. Do you guys know that bug, that type of bug? It's called a centipede. Have you guys
Yes.
ever heard of it?
Yes.
I don't understand you, teacher.
Okay, so there is a bug. I don't even want to look at a picture of it. There's a very scary bug sometimes that
Bug,
comes,
excuse me, teacher, bug. What do you mean bug, please?
an insect.
Oh, yeah, okay.
An insect. And sometimes in my apartment it gets very hot in the summertime, and then the centipedes will sometimes find their way into my apartment. And
Okay.
they're very fast, and sometimes if I see one, I will jump out of my skin because I really don't like them. So
what,
yeah, go ahead.
what kind of insect of bug you feel more afraid?
So it's called a centipede. And I can actually, I'll pull it up. I'll pull up a picture of it. But I'm telling you that even just looking at this picture makes me very nervous. Okay?
I
So I'm
feel
going to
I
pull
feel
up a
I feel the
picture.
same when I see butterflies, black butterflies. Black.
A black butterfly.
Yes.
This is a centipede.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to take it off. I
I'm
have
really
to
sorry
take
for
it.
you.
Yeah. So I only have like one or two sometimes that will be in my apartment in the summertime. But if I see them, I will be very afraid.
Okay.
So you could say that I jump out of my skin if I see one. So this next one, let's look at number 14. This is a good one. This is a very common one. Vitaly, can you read number 14?
On pins and needles. If you are on pins and needles, you are very anxious or nervous about what is going to happen. You might be on pins and needles while you wait for the result of the exam.
So if you are waiting for the results of something, if you are waiting for to hear back about something, about news from something in your life, you can say that you are on pins and needles. You're very, very anxious. Okay.
I was feel on pins and needles when I was waiting for the results of my TOEFL test.
Good. That's a perfect example. Exactly. Waiting for the results of a test is a
Yes.
perfect example. You're on pins and needles. Yeah.
You didn't on the chair, sitting on the chair, yes?
Okay, so you could say like if you're sitting on it's not literal, so you wouldn't it's not like you would really feel pins and needles, but you could say that you feel like you are sitting on pins and needles as you wait for the results of something. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. Let's look at number 15 and Caesar, can you read number 15?
If something scares you out of your wits, it makes you very frightened or worried. The feeling that a house is haunted can scare people out of their wits.
So, that a house is haunted. What does that mean? Do you know what haunted means?
Haunted. I don't know.
Okay, so haunted, I'm going to type this, means that there are ghosts in that place. So if you say that a house is haunted, that means that there might be ghosts or spirits or demons or something. Usually we would say it's a bad thing.
Living there, yeah.
Yeah, that are living in that place.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So if you are scared out of your wits, you can say, ooh, that house felt like it was haunted. It scares me out of my wits. And that's just another way of saying that you're very, very scared about something. This next one is a really good one. My mom says this one a lot. Scare the daylights out of. If something scares the living daylights out of you, it terrifies you. You are very, very afraid of that thing. And my mom always says that about snakes. Do you guys know snakes?
Yes.
Like the long, scary, like animals. She always says that, oh, I saw a snake and it scared the living daylights out of me.
Vampire.
Vampire, yeah. Definitely vampires. Some people are very afraid of vampires. Has anyone seen Twilight? The movie Twilight? There are some vampires in that one, but they are not scary. So if you would want to watch a movie about not scary vampires, you can watch that movie. And then this next one, scared stiff. Someone who is scared stiff is so frightened that they are unable to move. So you can't move. She was scared stiff after leaving the haunted house. So you could say that if you are scared stiff, you can't move. That is how afraid of something that you are.
Be freeze.
Okay.
Yeah? Does anyone have any questions about this last one?
No, teacher, it's okay.
Okay. So I'm going to take it off screen share. If anyone would like a copy of the paper that we were just looking off of, you can send me a message, and I will send you a copy of the paper.
Okay,
Okay?
teacher, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So do you guys have any other questions before we end class for today?
No, teacher, it's okay.
No.
It was a good
It
class.
was a very interesting class.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad. I'm going to teach a class about Halloween, the holiday, probably in the next couple of weeks. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, hopefully you guys will learn some more scary phrases and idioms.
You could get dressed. Some custom, yes.
Yeah, costume. Yeah, maybe I'll dress up. I'll dress up as a witch or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, have a good day, and I hope you guys learned some different good scary phrases.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys later. Bye.
Goodbye, Meta. Goodbye.